I hope everybody is doing well. My name is Ray McKenna, and today I want to share my story of going from being overweight as in my when I was younger in my teenage years, and being able to get myself into good shape, good condition, being able to make fitness a career during the process, which I'm very grateful for. I just want to make sure that this is actually just working. If you can bear with me, and also I wanted to share with you that the journey of how I went from like losing weight, regaining it, why I done it, and trying to simplify science and education to you in the process.
Working if you can
Yeah,
bear
here
with
we
me.
go.
And
We're flying.
also,
We're laughing. And then, therefore, you'll probably get a lot of value out of what I'm saying too. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me at the end, and I'm just going to go through my journey. So, first off, I've been in the fitness industry now, I would say, for 17 years, working in it. I've worked in over 10 gyms. Well, two of them were internships, eight of them were different gyms throughout. I've been very lucky to be able to live in Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Spain, Ireland, and many different places. Well, I wouldn't say I was lucky. I'd say I stepped outside of my comfort zone and made it happen, to be fair, and stepped into the unknown and went on a journey of self discovery through the world to educate myself and learn from different coaches throughout the world and different cultures, which I've been quite honoured to learn from some unbelievable mentors in Australia, Canada, Spain, many different places, and had the honour to be part here with Real Madrid, who are probably the biggest sports team in the world. So it's been a great journey, and I do continue on in my journey. But let me get in enough about me, and let's get into what we're about to speak about today. I have a slide, and hopefully Chrome allows us to get this slide. Yes, they will. Perfect. So basically, first off, I always say to yourself, like, is why should you listen to this guy on a training? Like, why should you listen to me? So first off, why you should listen to me is I'm just making sure that you can see them slides because
working if you can bear with me. And also,
it's just not allowing me to see it. Basically, the reason why is that, as you can see, this is my brand of who I am. This is the brand of that. These are the qualifications that I do have, and yeah, we are flying. Here we go.
the reason the reason why
I just had to
is
make sure that
that,
this
as you
is
can see,
in.
this is my brand.
I just don't know whether this is shown on. Yeah, here we go now. Perfect. Now we can see it. This is the brand that I do have of who I am and what I do. And here it is right in front of us. And this is part of the reason. So basically, I started out, these are the qualifications, a lot of them. I'll just break you down through a couple of them so far. So the one I done a qualification as part of the Sports Nutrition Australia Association. But I first started out my career by doing a fitness course in Dublin. And that went on for a year, and that helped me lose weight because years ago when I first started out, like it took about 2 years to become a personal trainer. Like you were, it was very hard to even qualify to become a personal trainer. It was all about fitness instructing when I was younger. So at first started out as a fitness instructor, and then I ended up spending about 2 years to become a personal trainer with the ISSA. They were very popular in my country of Ireland, but it was very difficult to pass that exam. After that, I then went on to do a guy called Charles Poliquin. He is dead now, Lord arrest him. He's an unbelievable strength and conditioning coach. His qualifications were a very high standard when I was growing up throughout the world. I haven't got them on this. I should probably put them on it. It was PICP, Strength and Conditioning Level 1 and Level 2. After that, I was training, coaching people, working, and I ended up going to Australia where I met Alexander Thomas. I ended up doing my qualifications in Australia, and he had a qualification that you're starting out with the ISSN and the Sports Nutrition Australia Association, and the MHS. The MHS is called the Metabolic Health Systems. And basically, Alex is an unbelievable coach, mentor, expert, and that's why he's the founder of Sports Nutrition Australia. He helped me massively in my career, taught me everything nearly that there is to know about nutrition, how nutrition and training works together, how like before we had social media, this guy knew all of this stuff. He spoke about stuff nearly 10 or so years ago that is only still out today. It was just so much valuable information. So we had to do them qualifications that took a long time, and then from there on, I went back to Ireland where I competed as a fitness model and was studying and working with a group of guys for 2 more years. And there was a guy called Kelly Starrett. He's probably known Dr. Kelly Starrett. He's another phenomenal, unbelievable coach, mentor. He runs Mobility What, and I done his qualification. But before that, for about 3 to 4 years, I dedicated hours and a long time into studying all of Kelly's stuff, watching all his YouTube stuff, applying it on clients, learning about it, going through all the functional anatomy. Because back 10 years ago or so, like you had to get seminars, you had to buy them online, or you had to go to them. Like it wasn't like today. Like you had to, if you got a book, you weren't reading digital books. You had to buy the book. Like, I think so. The books would be coming out. You'd be reading the books at home. You'd be studying, because not only that, I also went on to do precision nutrition, all their qualifications, and precision nutrition. Again, they are absolutely phenomenal at what they do. They are unbelievable. Their level 2 is all about neuroplasticity and behavior change and motivational interviewing and like stages of change and self-compassion and emotional intelligence, and how to actually bring that into your coaching practice, which goes on for a full year. It's like a master's degree. When I went on to do masters, it kind of reminded me of what precision nutrition is really like. And when I look back at it now, it is a absolutely unbelievable course, to be honest. It's so good. So that's one thing. Now, after that, I ended up going up and doing other stuff, traveling through. I was living in Canada for 4 years. I worked in about 4 gyms over there. And as you know, with COVID, we all experienced COVID. I was looking for a job for 2 years. And I got the job, and I absolutely loved it. And we all went on lockdown in the middle of Canada. Like, I'm sitting there in the middle of Canada, training in the house, clients gone. I had no support, but that these things happen. We need to know how to adapt. I did not go into any overeating. I did not go into any binges, and the reason why is because I had the solid foundation from what I'm about to share, which is in this video. If you stay with me, blah blah blah. Ended up doing the Institute of Performance Nutrition, which is a postgraduate diploma, but in Europe it's actually an equivalent. It's a UEQ level 7, which is a master's degree. All right. And basically, that was able to get me back into university without a bachelor's degree because of the strength of this qualification. The Institute of Performance Nutrition is probably the highest nutrition qualification in the world. Honestly, anyone that does it would even tell you what it's like. It is absolutely mind blowing. It goes on nearly for about 18 months. It is not one of these qualifications where you pass based on like just to get you through the door. Like you do have to really study science, case studies, know how to put that into practical application to individuals. You learn everything about immune system. You learn everything about relative energy deficiency syndrome. You learn everything about carbohydrate metabolism, fat metabolism. You learn everything about micronutrients. You learn everything there is to the immune system, the gut microbiota, how the gut microbiota responds to training. You learn a lot about exercise physiology. Again, if you are a coach and you're watching this, I would highly recommend that qualification. It will take you to a next level. Honestly, the podcast alone has some of the best guests that you'll ever listen to. Then onwards, went up to the Real Madrid University, which is in Spain. And luckily enough, I ended up getting in on a master's, and the master's was in sports training and sports nutrition, which also had sports psychology integrated with it. It went on for nearly 2 years, and luckily enough, I passed it. So you're probably saying, what are the qualifications? So, see the way all these qualifications, I actually learn more from reading research like 5 to 6 days a week, reading people's books that are PhDs, reading like quality research, listening to like quality interviews on YouTube for the last decade, but knowing who to listen to and who actually gives out correct information. Because there is a lot of bullshit out there, let's tell the truth. There is, and you can tell the red flags right away. So, like, if you ever wanted to know real experts, you're more than welcome to ask me, and I'll happily guide you in the direction. I definitely recommend monthly applications in strength sports. I would definitely recommend Stronger by Science. All these Institute of Performance Nutrition, these are like really, really high level in terms of like podcasts and education. Probably more, but these are the ones that I really, really look. I really recommend. But what we're going to do is we are going to get straight into the next phase page, right? So, as you know, this is my work experience, and I just wanted to share it with you, just so you know. As you can see, these are all the gyms that I've worked in. As you can see, I've had the opportunity in with Real Madrid in the women's section. I've worked in football, I've worked in boxing, I've worked in MMA, I've worked in Jordan's running at up to 100 kilometers. I've done it all. These are all the different gyms that I've worked in throughout the world, which has been an absolute honor, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to work in them. And as below, there's all the qualifications and the academics and achievements and awards. I always learned to continue with self development and putting money into myself so I can become the best confident and competent coach that I could be. All right. I think it's very, very important to continue learning in the field, honestly. So after that, I then went to this is some of the transformations that I was able to do, as you can see, just to know that like I'm also it's very, very important not just to be able to help yourself, but help other people make a transformation in their lives too. This was me as I was younger. When I was younger, this was me. And as you can see, this is me at a young age, and my nickname used to be called Fat Ray. So I had the name of Fat
And if
Ray
you can bear with me,
for
and
many
also,
years, and my nickname used to be called Fat Ray. I just want to make
so
sure
I
this
had
is
the
working.
name of Fat Ray.
And I had this name for a very, very long time, and it grew up with me. I thought I was handsome enough, to be honest. And then Fat Ray just decided after a couple of years to get himself into shape. And this was me coming out of prepping for these fitness model competitions. To be honest, when I look back at them fitness model competitions, this is just for me, it was just an escape away from myself, just looking for an approval to accept myself and put myself through all that pressure. Now, back then, like in this photo to the right, I was training like 5, 6 hard weights. And back years ago, it used to be loads of HIT training, high intensity interval training, and eating 5 to 6 meals a day. But now the science, this is why science works. Today, you wouldn't be doing that to get into shape, because we know the fatigue from high intensity interval training when you're getting lean. And we understand that calories are very important to get lean. Consistency is very important to get lean. Protein and some way of creating a caloric deficit. So if I look back at now, it's a lot more easier and I wouldn't be that stressed. Like in that picture to the right, I was barely sleeping, honestly. Then I decided to go back to Ireland. That was in Australia. And this is my first time ever trying to pose. I said, you know what? I'll give this fitness modeling another go. Now, if you look at that, like I could not pose whatsoever. But to be honest, I did keep the weight off and I learned about I started to learn about calories and macronutrients and micronutrients and how you could actually eat some of your favorite foods while still staying in shape and while being able to also, I understood like that weight training in a progressive manner is one of the most beneficial things that you can do to get into shape. Or you start to learn and educate myself from my qualifications, my experience in Australia, my experience of continuing to learn all the time. There was great podcasts coming out. You had people like Danny Lennon on Sigma Nutrition. You had Eric Helms. You had Loyal McDonald. You had Lane Norton. All these amazing people coming out like and continuing to learn and develop from them. So I'm very, very grateful for all them people. But I learned so much off of Alexander Thomas and a guy called Cody Mikhailov in Australia that, excuse me, I didn't really need to do much more because I understood how to actually get into shape and how to get ripped. Then I went on to do my first competitions here on the left. This was in the RIBBF. I just done that competition to see how I do in it as a little bit of a trial. And then I eventually got third or second, I think, in this competition to the right. And again, like you can see the difference in the poses, you can see the difference in the condition. I didn't do any severe diets. I can still remember the diet. I have it there. It wasn't even a diet. I was on 2,100 calories. I was doing 4 weight training sessions and I was doing 2 HIIT sessions a week. And I done that consistent. I went from here to there, here to there in about to the end one in about 7 months of consistency. Like I didn't binge, I didn't fall off track, I didn't have weekend warrior stuff, none of that shit. Sorry for the language, I didn't mean that. I just was consistent. I had a coach and didn't mess around. No fuck around itis, no change in programs, no nothing. Progressive overload, adherence, frequency, compound lifts, understanding how to regulate exercise intensity, and and that's it. You get the results. Most people just spend time. They're on a different program. They're on a different diet. Didn't cut out carbohydrates. Didn't cut out any fancy food. Still worked coaching people in the gym, personal training, and then this is like so. As you know, most of them photo shoots like they're good photos, Andy. But this is outside that day. Look, I looked in great condition. Like this is me condition with my sister-in-law just taking the pictures and someone in the background outside, and I done well. But then this is my third competition that year, and that I was you see, look, I was wiped out, and that I had enough. I thrown in the towel. I won a trophy for that, but I wasn't in that good a condition because I started to slip a little bit. The standards in this photo was totally different to this one. I promise you, well different. The one in this, like I was ready to throw in the towel here. I didn't even want to do that competition, to be honest. Then I reverse dieted for another about 6 or so months. Like reverse diet it's nothing new. Like it's now I would say it's more energy availability when I look at the science and literature of what I learned in my 2 masters. So it's about energy availability. So meaning that like when your energy expenditure goes up, you need to have energy to meet that energy expenditure, especially if you want to grow muscle tissue, especially if you want to improve performance. Like if you stay in a deficit, you don't really get anywhere. You'll just end up causing a lot of problems on yourself. So I look really well, as you can see. That they were just selfies back then. I didn't know much about social media, anything. I just hammered that out one day in a bleeding, sorry for the language, in a gym, and then just took them. I actually got a guy called Christopher Keeley to take these photos, use the workroom, and he took them photos. We done them together. He was like, "You look in great shape, Ray." I remember saying that. Jesus, that we were talking. I didn't even know that because I was locked in back then. Do you get me? I had different ambitions. All of a sudden, 6 months later, got an injury. Living in Canada, I ended up like this. So I went from this to this in 6 months. I didn't know much about this yo-yo dieting, guys. I didn't know much about the rebound effect that much. And I started to read like fat loss, like different stuff, and started to study more deep in it about body fat overshooting. And it got out of hand. And I know there's all this self-love, accept your body for the way it is, but that's frustrating. That was like 60, like it probably doesn't look it. I don't know. That was 17 or 18 kilos. Like that was rough when I done that. And then I'm stuck there, and this is what happens. I was on start the diet, going a little few restrictions, little bit of low self-esteem, end up on a binge, feel a bit guilty, back starting another diet. And I couldn't get out of that cycle. It was vicious. It felt like a rat race. So I hired Alex again. Remember Alex, I told you at the start? Hired Alex. And Alex said, here's what I would do, Ray. He said, I'd do 4 weeks getting cut and 4 weeks of a diet break. And what that would look like is we done 4 weeks of like getting lean and then 4 weeks of maintenance. So you went 4 weeks diet, 4 weeks maintenance, 4 weeks diet, and we done that for about 2 years. End up going on my own and I end up getting my physique back. So here I was here, and here are 2 pictures. But the one on the right is during the last 3 years of getting lean again. I've had a hernia surgery, I've had a hair transplant, I've also had like another surgery on my eye. So basically I was out for like nearly about 6 to 8 months not being able to train. But I learned to be very, very careful of this. Makes sense? Because I was after experiencing that. Because like look at how big I went again from not training and not being able to take steps. And because like when you're injured, guys, right, you need to be in a caloric surplus because we need anabolism to be able to recover from an injury. Okay, if you're in these deficits when you're injured, you're just slowing the process. We need anabolism to improve like growth of the growth. Like we need to be in an anabolic state. All right. Then I went from this, and then I ended up spending the last 6 to 8 months bulking, right, from these conditions. And here I am, there about 2 weeks ago. Like, don't mind that picture. I'm only up out of bed. The hair's all over the place. No smiling. But I'm on sunbeds, as you can see. I'm tan. And I look well on the bulk. Do you get me? Like, I've done a good bulk, and like I'm after being in Thailand. I'm after being all over the world. But I stayed consistent. I've never changed my program. Like, and you're probably saying, why not? Because programming is about principles. It's about many different factors. Progressive overload. Are you getting stronger? Like, I'm way stronger and heavier in this photo than anything. Like, if you look at the one on the right, I took that today. I just rather maintain a lean life the way I am right now. I don't have to diet. I can, if I want to eat out on a social life, I can. But I train 5 days a week at the moment because that's the split I'm on. I do cardio, I do steps, I go to yoga. I have an active lifestyle, but I'm not eating any special foods. I'm not cutting out any foods on my diet. I'm not in a diet mode. And if I wanted to take a 2 week break in Bangkok and eat what I wanted, I show I can because I built that up over years. I built up the behaviors. I learned how to take quantitative and qualitative food choices. So I always say to people, right? And I say, get yourself into shape once. Get an expert to do it for you. If you want me to do it for you, let me know. It's no problem. Like I'll do it for you. But you have to be ready. I cannot go and have you coaching me. I just can't because we're just going to slow the whole process. I'm not being rude. You know, when you're coming in and trying to tell me this diet and that, that's fine. But like, there's a substantial amount of scientific literature on training and nutrition and stuff like that right now. So what we do is we just simplify the science and give you the right sequential steps how to get yourself into shape and stay in shape while also not affecting your life. All right. Remember, your life is very important. You want to have a social life. You want to have a life with your significant other. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to do things. Like, you don't want to be going around on these diets for the rest of your bleeding life. Come on. And you keep telling yourself lies all the time that, oh, I'm going to do this right now. And you probably keep rebounding all the time. It's not the diet. It's just they don't work. Go and look at the science. Like, if you look at follow-up studies from all these restrictive, rigid diets, I can show you them. Drop me a message. I'll share them with you. No bother. You're more than welcome to listen to them yourself. Sugar is not an addiction. Go and look at the literature on it. It's not addictive. I promise you. I'll send you the literature. I'll send you the studies. You're more than welcome to look at it, or you can just take my word. If I knew it was, I wouldn't be telling you lies. It's not. It's shown. Joe Konevsky has shown it. He's the creator of macros years ago when no one knew much about it. Him and Lloyd McDonald. But it's like the rebound effect is shown that like people gain, like it's shown in hundreds of people, not just 10 or 20 people, that people regain. 95% of people regain all the weight after 2 years from all these rigid diets that are dichotomous thinking. You know them. I'm all in, I'm all out. Back on track, start Monday, start after this, start after that, start Christmas, start New Year. Stop lying to yourself. Honestly, please. Stop telling yourself lies, because if you can't have honesty with yourself, it's not good. Like honesty, integrity with ourselves. Because if you have integrity with yourself, you will start to trust yourself more. You will start to believe in yourself more, and you will have more self worth. Like you cannot overcome self limiting beliefs if you haven't got self worth. If you don't feel worthy enough to achieve goals, you cannot have self worth. You cannot have self worth. Honestly, you're just beliefs that are not reality. But I gotta shoot off. I hope this was helpful. Let me know any questions. Drop me a message anytime. I appreciate you watching it. And remember, get lean and stay lean while enhancing your life.